It's Wednesday, it's November 29th, and it's a very, very sad day here at NBC.
It's a very difficult day. I'm sure by now you guys all know. We found out early this morning, pre-dawn, a phone call about our colleague.
Matt Lauer has been terminated from NBC News.
It was left to Lauer's former co-host Savannah Guthrie to break the news.
This is a sad morning here at Today and at NBC News. Just moments ago, NBC News Chairman Dlux sent the following note to our organization. Dear colleagues, on Monday night, we received a detailed complaint from a colleague about inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace by Matt Lauer. While it is the first complaint about his behavior in the over 20 years he has been at NBC News, we were also presented with reason to believe this may not have been an isolated incident. Our highest priority is to create a workplace environment where everyone feels safe and protected, and to ensure that any actions that run counter to our core values are met with consequences, no matter who the offender. We are deeply saddened by this turn of events, but we will face it together as a news organization and do it in as transparent a manner as we can.
A few minutes later, Lauer's longtime friend and colleague Al Roker weighed in.
Still dealing with the news of a friend of 30 years, and we're all trying to process it.
Lauer has not issued his own comment yet, but according to an NBC spokesperson, Lauer's accuser is alleging inappropriate sexual behavior throughout 2014. His wife filed for divorce in 2006, accusing him of cruel and inhumane behavior, but withdrew the filing a month later after they reached a private agreement.
Okay, you caught me. The Matt Lauer footage of him as a sex slave is actually from The Ellen Show as a joke. But this is not a joke.
A few hours after news broke of Matt Lauer's unceremonious firing from NBC News, Variety published an investigation into Lauer's alleged sexual misconduct. Of the many details in the investigation, which were provided to Variety anonymously, there is one detail that is pretty creepy. According to two of the women accusing Lauer of sexual misconduct, he had a button under his desk that locked the door from the inside, allowing him the privacy to welcome female employees and initiate inappropriate contact while knowing nobody could walk in on him.
That's fucked up. This creep locking girls in his office and shit with a button.
I'm here to admit that I am in fact HIV positive.
Carlos Estevez.
And I have to put a stop to this onslaught, this barrage of attacks and of sub-truths.
Carlos Sheen.
And very harmful and mercurial stories that are about that threatening the health of so many others, which couldn't be farther from the truth.
It's called Charlie Sheen.
I've paid those people, not that many, but enough to where it has depleted the future.
How many people have you paid?
I don't want to guess wrong, but enough to bring it into the millions.
Charlie Estevez.
Were these people that you had sexual contact with and were claiming that you had transmitted the virus to them, or were these people who simply found out about your status and were threatening to tell the world?
More the latter.
Mama Dad Me.
Is it true that on at least one occasion you had a prostitute come over to your house who, after a sexual encounter, went into your bathroom and with a cell phone took an image of your antiretroviral medication?
That is correct, yeah.
And then threatened to sell that image to the tabloids?
Yes.
Carlos Sheen.
Have you knowingly, or even perhaps unknowingly, transmitted the HIV virus to someone else since your diagnosis?
Impossible.
What do you really know about anything? I mean, look at you.
Have you had unprotected sex on any occasion since your diagnosis?
Yes, but the two people that I did that with were under the care of my doctor, and they were completely warned ahead of time.
Tiger blood.
Have you, since the time of your diagnosis, told every one of your sexual partners before you had a sexual encounter that you were HIV positive?
Yes, I have.
No exception?
No exception.
Adonis DNA.
Do you know how you contracted the virus?
Sitting here today, not entirely, no.
And honestly, watching this Charlie Sheen interview kind of reminds me of asshole Podesta. They both stutter a lot and can't get their words out.
I think that, I actually think that we ought to.
I have to put a stop to this onslaught, this barrage of.
And I did find a couple articles where they state that stuttering could be a sign of somebody lying. Imagine that. And then we have testimony from Denise Richards from when she was married to Charlie Sheen.
I told him that I discovered some pornography websites that he belonged to, which I found very disturbing. Websites which promoted very young girls who looked underage to me with pigtails, braces, and no pubic hair, performing oral sex with each other. I also told him about other websites I discovered that he accessed involving gay pornography, also involving very young men who also did not look like adults.
And the National Enquirer article calling Charlie Sheen out as Corey Haim's rapist. HIV-infected Charlie Sheen is finally being unmasked as the National Enquirer as a twisted child molester. The ruthless adult rapist who child star Corey Haim said sodomized him and pushed him down a drug-fueled path to an early grave. What's more, the Enquirer's 5-year probe into Haim's tragic and untimely death at age 38 also unearthed other disturbing accounts of Sheen preying on more children connected to the 1986 film Lucas, when the predator 19 sexually abused then 13-year-old Haim. A new friend and confidant pointed this out to me before the National Enquirer article came out. Of course, if we weren't there, we can't know the absolute truth of anything, but taking into consideration, it makes one wonder if Corey Haim and Charlie Sheen had another fling in the 2000s, and Corey Haim died from pneumonia, could Corey Haim have contracted HIV from Charlie Sheen? Just wondering.
They report the HIV-positive actor has been caught on video performing oral sex on another man, and they've seen the clips. According to Radar Online's report, a drugged-up Sheen is seen on at least 3 30-second video clips smoking a crack cocaine pipe before pleasuring his male companion with the hardcore sex act. Rumor has it the videos were recorded in Nevada back in 2011, the same year he claimed he was diagnosed with the HIV virus. And now Radar reports that the tapes in question were at the center of an explosive lawsuit alleging the actor spread herpes. According to the $20 million lawsuit, the plaintiff claims Sheen lured the man to his hotel suite and told him he had no venereal diseases. At that point, they watched porn and engaged in mutual oral copulation, mutual self-gratification, rubbing and massaging each other, play wrestling, lick, and unprotected intercourse. Radar Online further reports that Sheen settled the case of millions of dollars after he learned he was caught on tape with the man, and he secured the original copy and ordered it to be destroyed. But apparently a bootleg still exists.
Fucking stoned.
Pretty cool beans. How about we trade our tiger blood for some winning? Ding!